I take this opportunity to welcome you back to this session of ours. I'm called Teacher Mike, and today still we are continuing from where we ended last time. We are still looking at chemistry generally, and we are going to look at chemistry paper 1, but today we are going to focus on part 2. Remember I told you some time back that chemistry section B has 2 parts. Part 1, which is having item 3 and item 4, and part 2, which is having item 5 and item 6. Please, our dear learners, I beg you that you should read both items carefully, then choose the one which is most appropriate for you, or the one which you can score highly. Now, as I've been telling you that we have some specified topics. Those topics where we expect questions to come from. For example, when we look at item 5 and item 6, we have topics like air. We should expect these topics. Air, we have water, we have rocks and minerals. Then we have fossil fuels. We have carbon-based fuels. Okay, those are some of the topics. Before you enter any serious chemistry paper, please, you must have read all those topics, and you should be well equipped with the content such that you can easily pass these questions. These questions they will set for you, and you should expect such questions on item 5 and item 6, but you choose one. Again, actually, when I was marking some learners, I found out a challenge whereby some of these learners, after reading both items in the same part, being simple to them, for them they answer those ones. And with the examiners, we choose one and we cross out the other one because it becomes irrelevant. Now, which approach should we use when we are answering these items? Now, the approach is very simple. This is the approach. 1, you have to identify the category of the natural resource, the reason, and the example. Those are 3 scores. You get it there. You identify the category of the natural resource. That is 1. After identifying the category of the natural resource, you have to give the reason and the example. Then 2, you have to mention the composition of the natural resources. Then you have to look at the impact of the natural resources on the environment and how it occurs and how it can be mitigated. Then lastly, you can talk about the benefits or importance of this natural resource. That's what we expect here. Please share with the friends, and don't forget to subscribe. So if you have any question, please drop your question in the comment section. I'll be waiting to respond to those questions you'll bring. Now, today let's look at item 5. Let's read through item 5. We are saying Uganda is actively pursuing, we are here, the development of the first crude oil refinery. Development of the first crude oil refinery to ensure domestic energy security. The refinery is planned to be built in Kabale village, then Buseruka sub-county in Hoima district near the rich crude oil fields. However, residents are concerned about the potential environmental damage from the refinery process, particularly on air, The officials from the Ministry of Energy have organized workshops to address the locals. So you have been invited to address the what? The locals. Now, when we read through this scenario, I told you that when you are reading the scenarios, please don't just read and then go direct to answers. No, read, then come back and read again. But as you are reading, please try to identify those words which you are going to base on, the words which are in the scenario, which are going to help you digest or get the what? The answers. Like for this one, they have talked about crude oil refinery to ensure domestic what? Energy security. The government want to pursue the development of this fast crude oil refinery. You get? Then from there, let's go to the what? The task. Now they are saying prepare a write-up you will use during the what? The presentation. So remember what I told you. So here you have to identify now the category. You have to identify the category of the natural resource. Now, which natural resource, according to the what? To the scenario. Which natural resource have they talked about? Of course, it is crude what? Crude oil. And you have to tell us, crude oil. Is it a renewable resource and a non-renewable resource? And its composition. Okay, I hope you have understood that. Let's proceed. Now let's look at the answers. Now this is my write-up. We are saying the category and composition. Now we have crude what? Crude oil. So you're saying crude oil is a non-renewable natural resource. That's why I've indicated you by saying that it is, or by writing that it is a non-renewable resource. You have identified the category. You get, that's why they have given you CIE. That's the first mark. Because it cannot be easily replaced after it is used. Now R is the reason. You get. So look at that. Oh, chemistry is beautiful. Just look at that. You get. The point is brief but on point with its explanation. Then now let's look at the other part. We are saying now the composition. We say crude oil is composed of course, we know. One, we have hydrocarbons. Crude oil contain hydrocarbons, e.g., diesel, petrol, the gasoline, and many others. We have sulfur, you get oxygen, we have nitrogen, all of those ones. So from there, now you have finished to identify the category and composition of that natural resource. Then you go to the next point. Now the impact. Remember, this was also in the scenario. What could be the impact of such on the what? On the environment. Now we are saying extracting and burning crude oil releases now the greenhouse gases. I don't know whether you know the greenhouse gases, but I hope your chemistry teacher must have taught you that. Leading to global warming. What you are getting? Look at that brief statement. Well explained. Some of you have a mentality that writing too much makes you pass or makes you score highly. My dear friend, that is not right. Write something simple, something readable, something understandable, but on point, and it is well explained. That's why I've brought for you this. Then from there, we give the mitigation. I told you, give the impact. Then after writing that impact, immediately give the what? The mitigation. Though some of you first give all the impacts, then you give the what? The mitigation, which is not right. State the impact, then immediately give its what? Its mitigation, and we move on. You get? Now this is the mitigation. So we are here. We are saying use of alternative energy sources such as HEP. I don't know that you know HEP. That is hydroelectric what? Power, or we can use solar, we have nuclear energy, and so on, and many others. Then that is now the what? The mitigation. Then from there, we can continue. Now we go for the what? For the benefits. Benefits of crude oil. Of course, crude oil is used for making fuel. Recently, we have begun extracting ours here. You get for vehicles, jets. It burns to produce energy. That is one benefit. Let's continue. Sorry for that. We say it is used for making plastics since it contains hydrocarbons that can be converted into plasticky materials. When we talk about hydrocarbons, let me hope your chemistry teacher actually must have taught you this. These are components which contain only what? Which contain only hydrogen and carbons, only those two. You get? That's why we are calling them hydrocarbons. Then the last benefit is that it is used for making medicines and the cosmetics. So some petroleum compounds are processed into ingredients used in drugs and some beauty products. So with those few, allow me end here. So please subscribe and share with the friends such that we can all score and get better grades. I sign out.